whoever is speaking to you is Jackie Opata from Remotic Solutions. And Remotic Solutions, we are QuickBooks certified pro advisors, and we have spent years helping East Africa businesses. And for the businesses, we help them to move from spreadsheets to smarter and seamless bookkeeping and accounting through QuickBooks Online. So before I continue, I would just like a confirmation from your end if I'm clear enough, just on the charts to confirm if I'm clear. If I can get a confirmation from two people, if I'm clear, then we can continue. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I can get that I'm clear. We are starting, and in the next 90 minutes, not just going to show you the QuickBooks software, but I'm going to explain clearly and in a simple way what each feature on QuickBooks Online actually is, why it matters, and what exactly it would be doing to your business or to your organization based on the nature of your organization activities. And so by the end, in the next 1.5 hours, you are going to come out with the decision on whether QuickBooks would benefit you, especially for the QuickBook desktop users, and also the individuals who are with us who are still using their spreadsheet to track their daily income and expenses. So maybe through the charts, I'll make this session interactive a little bit. I would just love to see through show of hands of comments, those who are still using the spreadsheet to track their books. In the next 1 minute, just comment yes, 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 or I would love to just see how many of us are still on the QuickBooks spreadsheet, or if you're using the QuickBook desktop, just comment QuickBook desktop, and then we continue. Nice, you can see your comments. Those are using QuickBook Desktop. Just let me just see through the charts. QBD, 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 QuickBook Online. You're also going to gain more on how to use the QuickBooks Online. Yeah. Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you. I can see. Some of us are on the online, some of us are on the QuickBook desktop, some of us are still on spreadsheet. But what matters today is what you're going to gain on how QuickBook Online works and its key features. Okay, so what's our main agenda today? We are going to see the reason why we need to move beyond spreadsheets. And we are also going to see the QuickBook Online core capabilities. And our major industry that we are going to cover today is on the construction, the energy industry, travel industry, and the nonprofits. And then from here, we are also going to see our client success stories, those whom we've worked with, those whom Remotics has assisted in migration. And we are going to see our pricing as well for your decision making on whether to onboard QuickBook Online to assist you. And also the last part will be our Q&A. And before we even come to the Q&A session, we will not wait for the last session for Q&A, as I'll be progressing. I would advise you can just key in your questions through the chats. Every section that I'll cover, if you have a question, we have colleagues who will be assisting as I continue with the presentation. So, why do we need to move beyond our spreadsheets and Excel? Those who are still using the Excel and the spreadsheet. So you can see here the difference now, how the spreadsheet works and how QuickBook Online is going to enable us to track our books seamlessly. So you can see if we are using spreadsheets, I know these are the challenges we are experiencing. Uh, Most of the times when we book our expenses and the income, we want to get summaries. We'll always have a challenge of errors. That is also getting few errors in our numbers, and it's also time consuming. For the spreadsheet, you'll not have real-time visibility of your cash flow if you want to generate your reports. Then also for the spreadsheet, it's hard to track your project's profitability uh, in real time. So we need to consider this because also as accountants, uh, currently we need to be going digital to avoid wastage of time and also to ensure that our businesses maximize profitability. So for the spreadsheets also, we can't track uh, our currencies. If your business is dealing in different currencies, it will not be easy to track or rather manage your multi-currencies, the foreign exchange gains, for the foreign exchange losses, if you're using the spreadsheets. So spreadsheet also, if you're working on a spreadsheet, maybe you are different your colleague in your department is also working on the same spreadsheet, and you find that there are different edits maybe that are now bringing errors in your books, you'll not be able to track who did these changes while you're using the spreadsheet. And also now for the spreadsheets, you'll have to do manual invoicing. And also that is time consuming to our business, to an organization. So for these challenges that we are having on using spreadsheets, there are also now the advantages on the QuickBook Online. So for the QuickBook Online, you are able to invoice uh, seamlessly and accurately. And I'm going to show us, all of us, how to do the invoicing. We are going to see how invoicing is fast while using the QuickBook Online. And also you are able to see all the reports you'd love. If you are dealing with budgets, if you're dealing with the uh, projects, you are able to track your P&L, your agings, that is for the receivables and the payables through the QuickBook Online. And also you are able to see how you are spending on your budgets, that is for the nonprofits. You'll be able to see your BVA, that is your budget versus the actual spending as at the current moment you'll be pulling the reports. So for those of us who are in the construction industries and those who are dealing with the projects, for the QuickBook Online, we'll see how you're able to track all the projects, all the costs, profitability of all the projects that we're having based on the location or anywhere that we do our projects. And this will apply to both construction industries, to energy industries, and to the nonprofit industries. So QuickBook Online generally gives good summary reports, and it's help us to track all our profitability based on our activities. So QuickBook Online also gives a multi-currency capability. So you'll see how you'll be able to track, if you're dealing with different currency, you'll be able to see how QuickBooks gives you the exchange rates at the time you are booking your transactions. And also it will give you an audit log. all the users that are using your account, you'll be able to see the various activities that all the users have done in the QuickBooks account. So QuickBook also will enable us to capture receipts. If you are managing sales in your business, if you want to issue a receipt to any sale you've made, instantly QuickBooks will give you this feature. So today we are going to see the invoicing, the multi-currency, all the reports, and the mobile app. This one I'll not be able to show on the screen, but then QuickBook Online gives us an additional mobile app feature. You can download the app in your phone and you'll be able to capture all the transactions using your phone. If you have the receipts, you can capture them using your phone and then upload on QuickBook Online. You can be able to book any expense, any invoice you want to do on your mobile. So this one I'll not be able to explain, but it's another added advantage for QuickBooks Online. Then we are going to talk about bank reconciliation, how to do the reconciliations, and how QuickBooks Online gives us an advantage on setting rules so that when we upload your statements for the month, it's able to allocate automatically the expenses, the income, based on the rules that you'll be able to set during your onboarding. And also, we'll be able to see how to give rights to different users and how to see the audit trail of the activities done by respective users. So stay tuned as we start this. So maybe 2 people can confirm if you're able to see my QuickBook dashboard from the chat section. 2 comments from the chat if you're able to see my QuickBook desktop. Okay, thank you. So now you're going to do step by step all the capabilities and the features that I've shown to you. We are going to see how they work on QuickBook Online and also see the advantages that you'll have for those who are not using the QBO. Those who are still using QuickBook Desktop will be able to see the differences between the desktop and the online. And also those who are still using the spreadsheets, you'll see the benefits of QuickBook Online and how it will ease in your work as you continue with the operations in your organization. So I'll start with invoicing. So what are the invoices that we make as a business or as an organization? So we all know, I believe majority of us are accountants. And even if we are not accountants, I know we've interacted with invoices and we've done invoices at some point in our daily activities. So the invoices, these are the digital receipts or for the payments that you make once you get a service or once you purchase some product from a respective customer. So in QuickBooks, you'll see that while creating invoices, there's the create icon on your left corner. So if you want to do an invoice, you'll come to your customers here and create an invoice. So when you're creating an invoice, you'll be able to allocate it to the respective customer. You give it the email address, that is QuickBooks allow you to automatically send invoices to your customers once you've created the invoices. So this is how the invoice feature in QuickBooks look like. So here is where you'll indicate all the items that you work with and what you've sold, or rather, if you're dealing with sales, what you've sold to your customer, and you want to send an invoice to them so that they can make payments. So here you'll be able to key in the service date, the products, all the products that you deal with. Here, for an example, we have the professional site management, we have petrols that you're selling. For the non-profits, we also have a fund donation, that is if you are able to receive funds from your different donors. And now for the products, as you'll be onboarding, you have to indicate or upload or key in all the products that you're dealing with as an organization. Then you give a description of what you sold or the service you offered to your respective customer, the quantity, the rates, the amount. If it's taxable, you'll key in the tax there. If it's non-taxable, you just indicate that there's no tax. And then now if it's related to a specific project, we are going to see how the projects work, the class. I'll show us briefly how the classes work to track respective donors for the nonprofit, respective projects for those of us who are dealing with different projects in our businesses. So once you key in all those information, you'll be able to save the invoice. And once you save it, it will give you an email whether to save and send, or you just want to save it without sending. So if you are saving and sending, you'll have to key in the customer's email here. And then you send it and your customer will be able to receive it on their end in their email. So that is how invoicing works. And let's say you are doing, let's say you're giving a service to a customer, and the customer makes a down payment before you do the respective service. So QuickBooks Online will also enable you to track the invoices based on the amount that has been paid. So let me just note save here. So if you want to, if a customer, let's say we are doing a bookkeeping service, and then my client pays me the full bookkeeping charge, let's say it's 50,000, and my client pays me a down payment of 20,000. So how does QuickBooks give you the advantage of now billing your customer the amount they paid, and also tracking the remaining balances? So if you want to do that, so if my billing was 50,000, I'll have to bill my clients here 50,000. Let's say I did a bookkeeping service to Bamboo Resettlement, and the billing date is today, and the due date can be also today, but then let's say due date should be 23rd, and then let's say I billed it on the 1st of April. So category would be, let's say, professional fee. So I want to see to show us how to track these down payments or deposits that you receive from your customers. And I'll describe there, and then amount, I'll say it's 50,000. So what's the customer's name? I'll include there. If it's a respective service, I'll include it there. And then the class also will now give us, that is the project based or any different projects, or rather if you want to track, if you are a non-profits, the different donors that you have there. So once I've done the billing, so I'll save this here. I'll save it and close it. Okay, it's giving me the errors. Let me see the errors. Let me say the bill number is 005. So if it's taxable, for me here, let's say I'll say it's not an import, but then it's just a service non-taxable. I'll save. So I've not classified it under the respective class. So once the bill has been saved, let's say I've received payments from the clients and it's 30,000. So I'll receive payment from the billing, and the customer was Bamburi. It was Bamburi. Cement. So we'll create the client there. It's the Kenya shilling. It's giving us, but it's not getting the Bamburi cement. So here, because it's not giving me the client, once I receive payment from Bamburi here, it will track the respective amount that I've received from Bamburi, and it will track the respective payment if it's 30,000. Then on the aging analysis for the receivables, you'll be able to see the amount that Bamburi paid as a deposit, and then you'll be able to see the balances that are related to the Bamburi cement on the aging analysis. So that is basically about invoicing on QuickBooks Online. Then now let's go to the reporting. If we are a business dealing with sales, you're an organization, you've received funds from donors, you've also been able to transact equally to your suppliers or with your customers, you must always need to get your reports as a business or as an organization. So how do you generate these reports, and what are the different reports that QuickBooks Online gives us as a business or as an organization? So here we have the reporting icon on your left. So if you want to see all the reports that QuickBooks generates, this is how it will be shown on your account. So these reports are the financial summaries of your organization, and they are always generated automatically from every transaction in your system. So you are able to see your receivables. Those are the invoices you've made to your customers, and you're able to see the balance sheet, you're able to see the profit and loss. So like here, if you want to see all the receivables that we had, you'll be able to see the your customers that owe you. If you're a business that is in fuel, in construction, and for the nonprofits, that is mostly our receivables are normally let's say staff advances, or rather if you intend to receive a donation or a grant from a donor, you'll be able to capture it in QuickBooks as a receivable, and here you'll be able to see the respective reports for all your debtors in QuickBooks Online. If you want to see your P&L, your profit and loss, you're able to see it there. So this is the P&L. You'll indicate as per the periods. And let's say you're having different projects, or if you want to see your report based on a location, you'll indicate all the locations there and see your reports, profitability for a respective location. For here, we have a Kindu Bay location, and we have the locations that are not specified. So as you'll be booking your expenses, booking your income, any transaction you're booking, you'll have to track them on the locations. And then when you're generating your reports, you'll be able to see them here based on the filter or customization you've made. And if you want to see your reports in the cash basis, you'll be able to see it here. If you want to see it on the accrual basis, you'll just click the accrual basis and see it there. So these are different reports that are generated by QuickBooks. And I believe to every business, we need all these reports and we need to see how our business works accurately. If you want to see your profitability summary for all the projects you have in different locations, you'll be able to get the summary here. If you want to see all the reports, location, the customer balances summaries, you'll be able to see all these reports in QuickBooks Online. So I want to show us different categorization and how QuickBooks allows us to track our transactions in various locations. If you are project-based organization, you're a project-based business, and you also have different branches, you'll be able to see this here on QuickBooks. So let's see. I said earlier we are going to see how to track the classes. So once you come to the setting icon here, we have the lists, all the lists. So in the listings, we have our chart of accounts, transactions here, the products and the services. If you're in the energy industry, you have different products. You'll see how to add the products. I'll show us this one. And then we have the categories for our products and services. If you're a service-based industry, we have the locations here. If you are operating in different locations, we'll see how to add our locations and then track all our activities based on the locations. So here for the classes, I'll start with the classes. So for the classes, this is now where we, based on our organization or the business, if you are in the energy industry, you have different products, and you want to see the product's profitability, each product's profitability. You'll be able to now get that by tracking them, the respective products under the classes. Let's say you have petrol, that is, you want to see your profitability for the diesel, you want to see your profitability for the petrol, and you have to see profitability, let's say, for the lubricants. You'll be able to categorize them here under the classes. And now, anytime you are booking a transaction for lubricants, now you will categorize it under the class of lubricants. If you are a nonprofit organization, so you have different donors, you'll be able now to indicate all your donors. I believe all the donors normally want to get their respective reporting. And if you are operating and you have, let's say, 3 donors, you'll categorize them under the classes. So for example, here we have the Africa Relief Development Foundation, we have the EU, and we have the general. That is now the unrestricted funds where we classify all other funds that we receive. Here now you'll be able to categorize all your donors. So as you will be booking your expenses for under the classes, you'll be able to locate each donor's respective expense. So that is what classes is on QuickBooks Online and how it generates a clarity while doing our transactions. Okay, so let's go back to the listings and see locations. So here we have our locations. So if you are an energy or construction site or firm and you manage, or rather maybe you have different locations of your business, so you'll be able to add all the locations here. So let's say you have a different location of your business. In energy industry, we have Nairobi. You'll be able to add all the locations there and the save Nairobi. If you have another business in, say, let's say Nakuru, you'll be able to add there and save. So here is where you list all your branches based on the business, if you operate in different locations. So here you'll add all your locations on QuickBooks. And then now when you're doing an invoice, you're doing receipts, you're doing an expense booking, you locate each expense to the respective area where it belongs. So that is locations. Now, for our products and services, if you want to track products, as a business, I believe we deal with different products. And you want to track all the products and see how they generate income to the business. So this is where, as you'll be onboarding, you'll have to track or rather list all the products that you are having in your business under the products and service section. So here, you'll see if you have a new product that you want to add to your business, this is where you'll add it under the new products section. And now this is how your listing or your product dashboard will look like. If it's a service, we have bookkeeping, we have construction services. If in the energy industry, you're selling diesel, you have the engine oil. And if you are a nonprofit and you have different now. So here for the products and services, let's say you are a nonprofit, but now you also operate and generate funds from different activities, maybe fundraising. Maybe you are doing trainings. So those are the services you do. You'll be able to list them here, all the products and the services that you deal with, and then it will give you a categorization where you can include the pricing, the selling rates. And let me just give you a brief. If it's a service, this is how it will look like as you'll be adding a service in your accounts. So here you'll name the name of the service, and then we have the description. You'll include all your pricing rates and select the respective account that it affects if you book a sale. So this is where you'll include the income account. And because now for the services, generally we don't purchase, you'll not include here, because if you are providing a service, it means your customers are the ones who purchase from you. So you'll not include the purchasing. But if it was a product, you'll have to include the purchasing price of that product. So that is how products and services work on QuickBooks. So I'll take 2 minutes. I would love to see any questions from you. Just type it on the chat box. we'll be able to address them as we continue. I would love to see my chat box being active, please. So any questions so far where we have reached, include it in the chat box there. We have a colleague will be responding to them as we continue. So our next item here will be on the chart of accounts, okay? So this is like a bonus concept for us. For those who are still not familiar with the chart of accounts on QuickBooks, chart of accounts are the lines, that is the accounting lines for the income, for the expenses, for the assets we have in our businesses. And chart of accounts help us to track all the relevant expense lines, the income, or all the transactions that we key in on QuickBooks Online has to have an account. So that is what chart of accounts is. And now, as we onboard, or rather, as we normally, when you are onboarding yourself on QuickBooks Online, you have to ensure that your chart of accounts is accurate. So how do we do this? In the accounting section here, we have our chart of accounts. So here, in the chart of accounts, every invoice that you do in QuickBooks Online has to have an account. Every expense you do has to have an account. If you're doing a bill, it has to have an account. So the chart of accounts generally gives you a listing of where you host all your transactions entries. And now you can always do it in bulk. That is through importing. You just list it in an Excel, give the account numbers, and then import on QuickBooks. Or you can always create a one-by-one account through the new account button. So as we do chart of accounts, we need to ensure that everything that we list on the accounts is always accurate, because while generating the reports, if your chart of accounts is not right, or you did do it in the right way, the reports will also not be accurate, and this will now bring differences in the reporting, or rather you will not be able to track any errors, because now you did a wrong chart of accounts as you are updating it, or rather as you are onboarding yourself on the chart of accounts. So let's now go to the reconciliations. And I know this is a key area for accountants. Either way, in your business, you have to do reconciliations monthly, or if you decide to do it weekly, but basically it's always on a monthly basis. So the type of reconciliations that we come across is normally the bank reconciliations. And if we have, let's say, M-Pesa, we're dealing with M-Pesa in our businesses, we must always do reconciliations. So how do we do this? And what is the importance of reconciling? We know that reconciliations are for us to accurately give clean reports. We must always have our banks or our M-Pesa accounts, even if it is petty cash, we must always have a reconciled account. So this is now where we do our reconciliations. Under the accounting in QuickBooks, it gives us the bank transactions, how to integrate the transactions, how to reconcile them, and also how to create rules. So if we're having, let's say, different banks, of course, in our chart of accounts, you must include all those banks. If you're having 3 different currencies, you have to include all the banks with their currencies. So here is where we'll do our banking. So here we have our different banks. So it doesn't matter the number of banks you have. You can always upload them, however many they are, on QuickBooks Online. So the currencies also matter. Like here we have our euro account, we have a dollar account, and then this is now the Kenya shillings account. So when starting on QuickBooks, yes, you can always integrate with the banks, but currently it limits banks in Kenya from integrating with the system directly. So what is always done is you have to do it manually by uploading your bank statement, and then now you do the reconciliation. So once you upload, this is where you'll always upload. If you want to link account, you link, but then currently it doesn't allow the linking of accounts. So you'll have to import a statement. So this is where you'll be able to import the bank statement that you have under the upload from the file section. So once you upload, it will give you a category where you'll be able to link the account that you want to create, or rather the statements that the account belongs to. So once you upload, you'll be able to click. If it's a euro account, you'll locate it to the euro chart of accounts. If it's the dollar account, you'll locate it to the dollar account. And if it's the Kenya shillings account, you'll upload it to the Kenya shillings account bank. So this is how upload, or rather our dashboard will look like for the banking. So once you upload the Euro bank statement, so this is how it will look like. It will list all the transactions for that month under the Euro account. So this once you do this, this is now where you start your reconciliations. And what I've not mentioned earlier is, as you doing the chart of accounts and you are listing your banks, always remember to bring forward your opening balances so that your reconciliation also may be seamless, and you'll be able to accurately reconcile the bank. So if you forgot to bring forward the opening balances for the previous year or the previous month balances, your reconciliation would not be accurate. So this is how you'll be doing your reconciliation. So these are the transactions that we have. So you'll be reconciling them one by one. So let's say this is our midterm review. It's a meal and entertainment. So if you want to reconcile it, you'll just click the respective expense. So this is how it will look like. You'll be now feeding in these requirements. It's an expense, yes. Now from which supplier? You'll directly key in the respective supplier. Let's say this is an expense for, let's say Acacia or other office mat. And then it's the correct account, you'll have to post it. If it's taxable, you'll indicate the tax. And then now this is where the classes we've talked about, you'll allocate the expense to the respective, if it's a non-profit, respective donor. If it's energy, all the classes you had included, maybe as per the product or service, you'll allocate it to that respective product, respective donor. And then for the locations, so here you'll allocate the expense to the required location. This meal and entertainment expense, which location does it belong to? And then you'll now click it there. So for the product or service, is it a service or is it a product that you've sold? So you'll indicate, if it's a product, you'll indicate the respective product there. If it's a project, maybe for the non-profit organizations, it's related. You have different projects. You'll be able also to list all the projects that you have as an organization. So you'll allocate this expense to the respective projects. Okay. And then if it's the respective currency, it will indicate there based on because now this was a USD dollar account. You'll change if you want to change it. And then ensure that all the description is accurate, and then you'll have to post. So now I was talking about the rule also. So we can post or cancel. If this is a recurring transaction, so this is where the rules apply, banking rules. If it's a recurring transaction, and let's say in a month, for the meals and expense of your staff, you incur several transactions for the meals. So you'll create a rule here so that anytime you upload your bank statement and you want to reconcile, QuickBooks will automatically reconcile it and post it in the respective expense line. So here you'll be able to create a rule and see what rule is it, what do you want to call this rule. If it's say a meal and expense rule, you'll indicate the meal and expense. Okay. It will be a meal, and then apply this transaction that are money out or money in. That is an expense, so it would be money out, and then the respective bank accounts. If you want to apply to all banks, you'll apply to all banks. If it's only related to, let's say, your Kenya shillings account that you normally spend your meals from, so you'll create the Equity Bank, or rather, if you want all the banks, create that rule there. And then include the following. If it's any or all, so you'll include for all related expenses with the meal. And then you ensure that whatever description is made on the bank contains the meal and expense, let's say midterm review, or you can also change the description, whatever you want to categorize in this rule. Let's say for the meals, you must always mention meal. So whatever contains meal, it will be allocated to the meal and expense. So you can always test the rule, or rather, if you are sure about it, you just assign. And all these other indications also, categories, the pay. If it's a rule that you want that every Office Mart transaction should be a meal expense, every Bamburi cement transaction should be purchase of, let's say, cement. So you have to indicate it here. And then for the classes, the same. If these, for the meals relate to this project, or the meals relate to this donor, or if it's, let's say, rent, and rent is always paid by a respective donor, you will create that rule. For the location as well, indicate it. And then you save the rule. So anytime you are doing reconciliations, and QuickBooks notifies, or rather locates the specific terms or the set rule that you had, it will allocate it automatically. So how does this assist us? The automation posting from QuickBooks, it will give us easy time now. Instead of doing all these manual transactions and posting them manually one by one, QuickBook automatically post them to you. So you'll just be posting what you didn't set the rule on QuickBooks, or rather a new transaction, maybe you've not been incurring it on a daily basis. So those are the few reconciliations that you'll be doing. So that is basically about bank transactions and reconciliations. And it also applies to M-Pesa. If you have an M-Pesa account, that is where now you'll upload your M-Pesa statements, and then do the reconciliations there, because it will be under the bank. If you have petty cash, all the petty cash transactions you allocated to the petty cash account. So that is where you'll be doing your reconciliations. Any question on bank reconciliations, kindly chat us in the chat box. Okay, now let's go to multi-currency. Had mentioned about multi-currency and how QuickBooks Online enables us to track our different currencies. So this is where we get our multi-currency. While doing our setup, during onboarding, always ensure you have enabled the multi-currency. So under the settings, you go to the advanced settings. So here we'll see all the chart of accounts, your categories, as you want to track classes, ensure they are on. Automation, if you want to track per project, ensure it's on. And then here, this is where the currency is, also ensure that it is on. So once you have the multi-currency on, you are able to add all the currencies that you deal with. So here, for my case, we have these currencies that we work with. So if you want to add a currency based on your organization, this is where you list, we have the currency listings. You'll be able to add all the currencies that we are having here. Now, as we'll be booking our expenses, let's go back and see how multi-currency works. So here, something is not working, but okay. So if let's say we want to create an expense. So here, the account, if the expense is payment is made through, let's say, the dollar account, you can see here $1 as at today it's 130. So this is now the advantage of QuickBooks. Now instead of tracking with a spreadsheet, you see you'll be doing each transaction one by one. Then now you want to track back what was the rate of this particular, the day I booked this expense, what was the rate, and now what are the changes. But now QuickBooks will be giving you on time and timely tracking of the rates. So for this expense, if you want to do an expense booking, based on the bank, it will give you the current banking rates. Sorry, the current exchange rate. And then if it's a euro also, it will give you the current euro exchange rate to Kenya shillings. So any amount you book here, because it will be in euro, it will give you the amount, the exchange rates automatically. Let's say it's 500. So you see, it's giving you the current exchange rate in Kenya shillings. Okay, so when you'll be pulling your reports for the euro, you'll be able to see all the transactions, all the expenses that are paid in euro, and now the conversion amount as well. You'll be able to see now in Kenya shillings, and so what was the exchange gain, what was the loss that we made as a business based on this particular month, based on this year. So that is now the advantage of multi-currency in QuickBooks Online. Okay. We are also supposed to talk about the user transactions, how to get the audit trail. So I don't want to save this. Now let's go to the users. You are an organization, you have 3 accountants, and every accountant, or rather, even if there is senior members of the organization, you want to give them access to QuickBooks Online. But then not everyone is supposed to see all transactions, not everyone is supposed to edit. So how do we manage this? So you'll go to the settings here. As the admin of the accounts, you'll manage your users there. So once you manage your users, You are able to add all the users that you want. Like here we have 3 users. If you want to add another user, this is now where you'll be able to add the user. You'll send an email invite to the user, they'll accept. So once they accept, they'll be able to log into the accounts. And now it's you to give them roles. Okay, so what is their role? If it's the accountant and you want to give them all access, you only want to give them the receivables. You only want them to manage the payables, you'll be able to give them there. If you want to, maybe it's an auditor, you want the auditor to only review the company reports, you'll give them access to the company. If it's tracking time, it's that only tracking time. And then you give them also if you want to add all other permissions, you can add them there and select the respective activity that you want a user to generate there, or rather do in the QuickBooks Online. So now, let's see how you'll be able to see what each user has done and at what time they did. So now that is now the audit tool reporting in QuickBooks. So here we have the reports. So we have the audit log. So for all users, if you want to see specific user, all these you'll select. You see here all the users, what I did. It gives you the time, who did this, and what I did, the event, what I have done on QuickBooks. So this morning, this is what I've done from when we started. I added a location, I added a bill, it gives you now all the edits. So the dates change. If it's this month, you want to see what the user did today, yesterday, this week, that is where you'll get the reports. And now this is advantage of QuickBook. You'll be able to see now who changed this. If you get any discrepancy, who changed this, who did this. There'll be no back and forth like I am not the one who did this. You'll be able to see the full audit log in QuickBooks Online. Okay. The last advantage of QuickBooks Online is on inventory. Let's see how we are able to track our inventory based on the activities that you do as a business. So here we have our inventory. If you want to manage inventory, your stock, this is where you'll be able to manage it on QuickBooks Online. So all your products, you'll be listing them here. So for my case, I listed the engine oil, I've listed the cylinder gas, and I have another product, let's say the petrol. So as you key in your products, ensure that you key in all the information, the opening stock, the quantity that you have at the specific time. And then once you do any sale, as you'll be booking a sale, it will be deducting from the quantity you have. If we sell an engine oil now, let's say a 2 liter, you'll be able to see that I can do an example. You'll be able to see how it comes from 148 less to 146. So this is how you'll be able to track. Okay. So you'll go to your sales. Okay. So when you want to do a sales transaction, let's say we sell it's a sale. So we are going to create a sale receipt for, let's say, ABC Logistics. So they paid, let's say, cash. Well, let's use a check because okay, I have this. Let me do this. And then I sold uh, no, this is a service date. Let's say today, uh, and the product was an engine oil. We had 148, and let's say they bought 3 liter. So you can categorize the class if you want or not, and then you save. So we've saved our sale. Now let's go to our inventory. You can get it from the dashboard there directly. Uh, I wanted to generate the inventory here. So it's able to give you here all the inventory and give you a summary of what you are having, whether it's your low on stock or rather the open sales orders, the open purchase orders. So if you want to see the lubricant, so you'll be able to see the uh, sales for the respective items that you had based on the products, okay? So it's giving you a summary of all the sales you've made for the engine oil. Uh, the specific date we had today was 3 quantity. You are able to see it. If the previous sale was 2 units, so far we've sold 5 units. So QuickBooks will be able to give you a generation of all the reports based on your inventory, how to track your inventory. When you are out of stock, you can always set a reorder level for your respective stock. And this applies to the nature of the business that you under. So that is the basic background on the QuickBook features and how it benefits different organizations. So we are going to now, let's go back to our slide and see, I'll give us a case study, and these are real experiences that we've had with our customers, okay? And we have Child Fund. Child Fund is one of our clients whom we've worked with as Remotics. And we've had a long-term interaction and relationship with the Child Fund. And it's been 13 years, sorry, 3 years partnership with Child Fund. And when Child Fund came, Child Fund really has different branches and different partners in different countries. So when they came to us Remotics, they used to track their books or manage their transactions and accounting on QuickBooks Desktop. And you find that in each and every country, they had their own QuickBooks Desktop account. And so when it came to a time when summary is required to see how all those countries work, this was a challenge. Why? Because now every organization tracks differently. And now for the QuickBooks Desktop, this one can't give you the ability to see what another business is having or rather in another location. So what did we do to Child Fund? How did we assist them? So we onboarded Child Fund on QuickBooks Online. And for QuickBooks Online, you don't need to have just one different accounts. That is, you only need to have one account. And now from this one account, you can add users. And these users, remember, for the different countries that Child Fund operates. And now all these users are able to track their expenses, their income in this one account. And now when you want to generate a report nowadays Child Fund is able to generate the reports of all countries that they are working with, all locations. Remember, I've shown us how to do and track our expenses on the locations, in different locations. And we are able to see all the donors' reports for respective donors. So this is how Child Fund has benefited from us. And we are still working together with Child Fund. That's a true confirmation. And so another testimony that we have is on NextGen Fuel. And so NextGen also, it's an energy dealing company, and it had different, which is currently also having different branches where it manages its fuel businesses. So before also, it had the same challenge. NextGen would want to know the summary of all the countries' profitability and how the sales of the different products are. But it couldn't do this because now every country, every branch, they used to manage on spreadsheet for every product. Every product used to have its own spreadsheet. Every country had to have its own spreadsheet. And so now for the respective countries, when it was a time to generate the summaries, they couldn't do this in a faster way. You see, it would take them time now to get all those spreadsheets together and do a summary. But now here in QuickBooks Online, we've seen NextGen has been able to track their products separately. It has also been able to manage the different countries' sales and reports through us. And we've partnered with them. It's now 79 months. We're still doing business with them together. So you see how QuickBooks Online is able to give a transformation to your business and to your organization. We also have the Enchanting Travels. It's an hospitality and travel business. We've partnered with them for 8 years. And for these 8 years, it's been a good business with them. What they had the challenge were on the partial payments that had already shown us how QuickBooks gives us a advantage on the partial payments booking, on the deposits as well, how to make deposits for those who make an advance payment, that is tracking on your prepayments. So this is the challenge they had, and they used to do it manually, and now errors were always there because now a client paid and you booked them, you've overbooked an amount. Sometimes they used to forget on the invoices that they had done earlier and now undercharge the client. So this was a challenge they had when they came to us. And up to date, 8 years, QuickBooks Online onboarded with Remotics. We've enabled them to manage their transactions well, and their bills and their reports are seamless and accurate. So those are the basic, or rather our key clients we've worked with as Remotics. And we are still working with them to date. Okay. We also have Trinity Fellowship. It's a church, and they had a challenge of tracking their offerings, their funds that they received from different donors. And now we've worked with them. It's almost 2 years working with them together, and it's been a good experience. Through QuickBook Online setup we did with them, they are now able to track their different church branches. They are able to track their tithes from all the branches that they have, the income they're able to generate, and see how this church branch is working and how this other church branch is working. So this is the benefit now of QuickBook Online. If you're managing different funders, if you are working in different locations, if you are business, you are handling different products and you want to track all products separately and see how it gives a profit to your business. So, as Remotics, I mentioned earlier, we are QuickBook Pro advisors. And we also give QuickBook Online subscriptions to our clients through onboarding, through setup, and basic subscription that will assist businesses, mainly those who are in the spreadsheet and you want to manage different locations, you want to manage your different donors, you want to manage different projects. We have the Essentials subscription and the Plus. And the advantages of these two is that for the Essentials, you are able to have 3 users work on the same account. And then it has all the simple start features. That is, you are able to manage reconciliations, you are able to manage multi-currency, and you are also able to manage your inventory. And it gives you access to time tracking as well for those who have staff and you want to track time based on the projects they've done. So these essential will be beneficial to your organization if you intend to have these features. So for the Plus and for the Essentials, it's 6,800 a month. And then we have Plus, which is currently 12,300 a month, which gives you the ability to have 5 users work on the same account. And then it has the features that are in the Essentials are all there. That is the time tracking. For the full business, you can do budgeting, you can get your accounts, you can, for the budgeting, you are able to track what you've spent, what you've used as at now, where you are not doing well. You can track your inventory as well. So currently we are having a discount and it's running up to June. And for each subscription per month, you get a discount. Once you subscribe, you get a discount of 1,000 shillings per month from now up to June. So once you get QuickBooks Online from Remotics, we are able to provide migration services. We are also able to provide training for your accountants and for your team to get well versed with the QuickBooks Online. And even after the training, while using your QuickBooks, your continuing activities, if you're stuck somewhere, we are always there to give you a continuing support. So this is now the major parts that we would love to mention to you, all the spreadsheet users. It's high time we migrate. For those who are in the desktop, there are those desktop features that are not able to be, they are not able to serve you well, but QuickBook Online could serve you. So if you have any challenge with your QuickBook desktop and you are thinking of moving to the QuickBook Online, Remotics will be the best service provider. We'll be able to serve you and help you in the migration from your desktop to your online. So I'm coming to the end before our one-on-one questions. If you're ready to now move, we welcome you to join all more than 120 businesses we've partnered with, and we are serving them as their QuickBook Online providers through training, through migrations. I invite all of us, those who would wish to migrate, we give 30 minutes free consultation. We'll be able to share our Calendly invites so that you're able to book if you want to have any one-on-one consultation with us. We have 30 minutes that are free. And once you're on board with us, mentioned, we are able to handle your setup and migration and also train your support team. So we'll be communicating through your emails. We'll share our contacts and the invites for those who are willing and are in need of the QuickBook Online. We'll share all the information through the emails, and also we'll share the recording for this session so that you can also be able to go back and if you have any section for those already on the QuickBook Online and would love to grasp some sections you've not got well, you'll be able to go back through the video. So I welcome Q&A live session. If you have a question and would love to raise it, it's your time. Five minutes for one-on-one Q&A questions. Or you can drop them on your chats, on the chat box for those who want to maybe just type. Any question who would like to raise a question? We don't have a question. Any concern, any comment? If there is no question.
Well, it was a very interesting section. Thank you so much. Me, I just had a question. Like, do you, if not, you are not in business, do you offer something like a training? Maybe if you want to get to learn about QuickBooks and the accounting softwares? Yep.
Okay. So normally we have the monthly demos, but now if you already have the QuickBooks Online or even the QuickBook Desktop and you want training, we do it at a fee, and we normally charge hourly. That is 2,000 shillings per hour. If you want to grasp more about it, if you already have it in your organization and you need more training, yes, we do, and we offer it at a fee. But we have 30 minutes free consultations. If you have any query that would love to know more, we give 30 minutes free sessions. So I would request everyone, before you leave today, book that 30 minutes call. It costs nothing. And it could involve conversations that change how you run your business, your finance, your accounting system. So feel free to book a call with us. We'll share through the emails.
Okay, mine is not a question, but just to say thank you for the interactive session. Some of us are, trying to set up these systems by ourselves and just figuring things out as accountants. But the issues that I had with the online system I've already shared, and one of your colleagues has shared a number to reach out just to, for verification. So I wanted to know, do you also maybe just review a client system? So if it's a system that I set up on my own and just been working with it for a while now, but there are those challenges that, we come across with, especially the QuickBooks Online. Are you able to maybe offer a diagnostic or just see how best we can improve the system?
Okay, yes. So for that question, I would like to give John to comment on that.
Hey,
John, you're
thank
here
you.
with us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Good morning and thank you. Yes, we can definitely help you with that. We do consultation for existing customers who have either primarily QuickBooks, and they want to review the structure and the settings of their platform. We can do that. You can go ahead and schedule a 30 minutes free, and then if it requires anything more than that, then we can wait and provide the consultation for a fee.
Yeah, because since I have an accounting background, it's not crazy. Just a few
Okay.
things here and there. So will it be okay if maybe I write an email to you and then we can schedule that call just to see?
Oh, yes, that would be good.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other concern, question, comment before we close?
I see there's a question from Susan on how to migrate from desktop. Yes, that can be done. That switches a little bit to the technical area. So again, if you reach out to us, we'll review. There are several things we check on a QuickBooks file. We check the size of your current desktop file, the settings, whether you have multi-currency on, how many transactions you've already put in. You may find out some QuickBooks desktop files are as old as 10 years. So we have to be very strategic to ensure that there's no data corruption, there's no loss of data. So it's more of a one-on-one engagement. So if you could at least maybe schedule a meeting with us and then we can review what you have, then we are able to walk you through whether this is some self-service thing you can do by yourself or you need us to be involved. But most likely, if it's an old file, I doubt you'll be able to run the whole 10 yards by yourself. So go ahead and schedule a meeting with us and we'll definitely help you with that. And I see there are more questions on sharing this soft copy of the presentation. Yes, it will be live on YouTube from tomorrow from like 12 p.m. So look out on your emails, and everybody who attended will have a link of the same presentation on YouTube. Let's see. Anything else that hasn't been specifically addressed by Jackie? That's where we come in, your 30 minutes free session. I see exchange rate issues, reconciliation, GL issues, there are project issues. If they've not been answered to your satisfaction, hit us up and we'll be able to do a one-on-one. Sometimes it's a little bit very broad to cover everything to the specific users and need. So that's why we are here to help you with a one-on-one and see whether there is anything we can add value to your current operations.
Okay, thank you, John, for addressing that. And now I would love to close. But before I close, what I'm going to close with, honestly, is that every client you've seen there, Child Fund, you've seen Next Gen, you've seen Trinity, they all started exactly where you are seated right now. And all of them, they were using spreadsheets. And at some point, they all wondered how or whether they would switch, or was it even worth it switching to QuickBook Online. So currently, where they are, they tell us at some point uh, in the first few months, they told us, like, I wish we had done this thing earlier. So as you are coming out from this session, think about it. If you have any issue that of migration, you would love to switch to QuickBooks Online, Remotics Solutions Limited is the best service provider on that. So thank you, all of you, for your time and for committing this 1.5 hour session. We look forward to doing business together from now, and also have a look on our website, on our YouTubes. We have the previous sessions. You can always go through them. And we welcome you also to our next demo next month. So stay tuned. Bye-bye for now. Let's all have a good day. You're free to leave.